friend Sage, and we're still doing Kaveh's Hangout. I'm trying to decide on what I should say to him here. So at the end of the last video, he said he was thinking about not going to the invitation party that Tanari asked him to. And then he's saying that he doesn't want to bring down his friends' moods because he said that he's older than all of them, so he should try to be more, like, responsible. But I could say it's normal for friends to take care of each other, but Tanari saw right through you.
Huh, you're right. I really didn't expect to run into him here. I swear, his nose must be just as sensitive as his ears. Well then, I guess it's best that we go and join him for dinner. That means I'll owe him yet another meal now. You know what? I'm not going to overthink it. I'll see you tomorrow at Pardee's DI.
Oh. What was that? There was like a name down there that disappeared. What? Okay. Wait until after the following day. I'm gonna go teleport over here. Yeah, sometimes these take me forever to do. Because we started off the video before the last one where we got her. Then I tried going around getting artifacts and stuff for her. And then I decided to actually start on Kaveh's Hangout, so... I'm also suffering with my allergies. All the fires in Canada are putting smoke in the air, and it's affecting people that have allergies. They're even telling people to stay indoors. But because my roommates always have all the damn windows open, all the smoke comes in, and I've been having to go places and stuff. So, it's pretty bad. Yeah, so like my left eye will keep watering, and then I have like a bunch of, like, my sinuses are clogged, and every time I sneeze I have to blow my nose immediately after, because like the mucus literally just starts running out of my nose. It's real bad. I sound really nasally and congested. They said the smoke was supposed to let up at some point. I think at the end of this week, but it's also making my head hurt too. Like, it's giving me a bad headache because I have like so much head and sinus congestion that it's real bad. Where is he? Up there? Who is that? Is that Sino? It is. It is Sino. Sino.
Oh, hey, them also got my invite, right? Will he be coming to join us?
Oh my god.
That guy? He's never been a fan of social gatherings. I wouldn't get my hopes up if I were you.
Are you sure? All right then. I guess we won't wait for him.
Yeah, let's go. I mean, maybe we should give him a little more time. We can keep chatting for a while longer.
Oh, sure.
You still haven't told me, what's the occasion for getting us together here at Pardee's DI?
Kind of sucks. I didn't get a chance to participate in the event where they had all four of them together. Kaveh, I'll hate them, Tanari, and Sino, because I was too busy doing other stuff at the time. And I thought I had enough time to do it, but when I came back in game to try it, it had already ended a long time ago. So I didn't get a chance to participate in it, and it kind of sucks.
We're celebrating the end of the first phase of Kaveh's studies. I wanted to thank you all for the help you've given her along the way.
Then where's Kaveh?
She said she wanted to show everyone a bit of what she's learned, so she's still doing some last-minute prep at home. She'll be here shortly. Anyway, let's get started. To tell you the truth, I'm actually not so confident that the second phase will go as well as the first. The curriculum will become a lot more involved, and I'm worried that she won't be able to get through all of it. I was hoping we could brainstorm about it together before she gets here.
I knew this wouldn't be just a simple free dinner. Is that why you also invited Al-Haytham?
Yes. I thought it would be good if we could all put our heads together about this. Anyway, let's take a quick trip down memory lane. What did you guys do when you ran into a problem that you didn't know how to solve? Or got assigned a project that you knew you weren't going to finish on time?
Never happened to me.
Oh.
I'd just pull another all-nighter.
You two are hopeless. Does anyone have a more useful answer to the question?
Perhaps you could just adjust the pace of the curriculum.
Ooh, that's a good point. Confidence is the most important thing. Once you lose your sense of confidence, it'll become all but impossible to find the motivation to study.
This could be a potential direction. I have already redesigned the literacy curriculum, and I was originally hoping to ask Al-Haytham for his opinion. But
it's very simple. Instead of focusing on the amount of material you would like to teach, focus on the amount the student would be able to remember.
You're actually here. What?
Wow, you actually showed up.
Oh my god.
You could probably count the number of times you've actually come to gatherings like this on just one hand.
Oh my god.
It's still more than the number of times you've managed to get a proposal approved on the first try.
He's actually there. That's great. I like Al-Haytham a lot. Oh my god.
As long as you're still aware. So, what made the difference this time? Are you looking to drink your sorrows away with some friends?
That's your purpose for being here,
I
not
knew he was
mine.
gonna say that.
Don't project your ways of thinking onto me.
Who?
So you're saying the only reason you came is to help Tainari with his brainstorming?
Precisely. Kale will have a long road in front of her.
Hey, just to get one thing clear. Even if Kale manages to make her way to the academia, we cannot let her enroll in her avatar. Kasharawar is obviously the best choice for her. She's been a trainee forest ranger for so long, she'll definitely be good with her hands.
What are you saying? Spontamon is the better choice. It's where I graduated from, after all.
Then what about Amorta? That's the darshan her master actually graduated from.
There are only 2 other Darshans left. We might as well select all of them on her enrollment application.
You? I'm trying to have a serious discussion here. Traveler, you aren't associated with any of the 6 darshans. In your opinion, which darshan would be the best choice for Kale?
I think she should get through the second phase of her studies first.
Well said.
Oh.
agreed. And my goal in inviting you here was to gather some thoughts on the execution of this second phase.
Oh?
Phase 2 far exceeds Phase 1 in both curriculum complexity and the speed of instruction. I hope Kale has prepared herself for what is coming.
Hey, what are you thinking now? Please don't tell me you're planning on lending her those abstruse books from your home library.
Actually, I was thinking about lending her a profession's guide.
I'll make sure to write, "Don't become an architect" on the front page of that.
But don't you love your job, Kaveh?
You're right, I can't deny that.
Is there another phase after Phase 2? What's the ultimate goal of all of this? Are we trying to prepare her for a job in the academia?
It's funny because I follow Sino's voice actor because Alejandro goes by Sayu. He's actually a VTuber, and I'm subbed to him, so I get to see him do a bunch of stuff. So every time he talks, I'm just like, I feel like I'm drawn to him, and not in that way. The guy's married, and I don't date or anything. I'm just drawn to his voice. Like when he talks, I'm like, man, I could listen to you read a whole fucking thesaurus to me, and I will not get bored once. Literally, he has that type of voice that it fits. Not only does it fit his character, but he has like a sense of inviting. I was gonna say invitation. Like when you listen to him speak, it draws you to him. I don't know how to explain that correctly.
We don't need to think that far ahead.
Agreed.
Hold that thought, though. I think my vegetables are done.
Everyone enjoys a relaxed and pleasant dinner.
I'm telling you, that client had no idea what he was talking about. No matter what I did, he had something bad to say about it.
Kaveh sure gets drunk fast.
Have you considered finding another client?
They're all the same. I haven't had a good night's sleep for months now. Who do they think they are, ordering me to alter my design over and over again just because they have some mora?
It's too late now to change careers. You might as well try to find some joy in the pain.
Please don't say it like that. What the fuck? As if my mind doesn't do that already, you bastard. How could you do this to me? Oh my god.
Besides, you'll be getting up in the middle of the night to make edits to your own design even when the client doesn't request it.
No! That's not true.
Cheer up, Kaveh. I'll tell you a new joke.
Oh god, here we go.
We'll save that for the end, Sino. You can keep it to yourself until then.
Whatever. I'm not going to use my brain anymore. Let's drink tonight to our heart's content.
Oh god. Positive feelings you gain will get you through the long and difficult years. Kale and me are just in the fucking background. Alright. Alright. Let's take a look at where we were. Oh god, it scrolls so fucking slowly when I do it. He only has 5 innings, so there's one there. Let's go here. Go home with Kaveh. Yeah, I think, well, there was one where we said about finding people that his mother would know. And then there was another one where you say to put the book aside for now. I think that's probably what you're supposed to say. The fact that I'll hate them actually showed up though, wow. The fuck? He was like, hello. You know, I tried to get him when his banner was airing and I had no luck. It was like looking for a needle in the haystack and I wasn't even sure if I was in the right field. Oh man, my allergies are so bad. Like, it sounds like I'm crying, but I'm not. It's just I'm really congested with mucus and I don't have anything for it. I know they keep advertising for that Astropro shit, but I don't like using nasal sprays. I want something I could take in a pill form. I know there's like Benadryl or Allegra or Zyrtec or other crap that I could probably use, but I don't got the money for that shit. And the doctor I have is completely useless. They don't help me with crap, so I probably can't ask them. And it's only because of the fires. My allergies haven't acted up bad like this in years. The last time my allergies acted up this bad, I was in fucking high school, or middle school, actually.
I'll hate them isn't in, so feel free to sit with...
Okay. I'm gonna skip through this, because I already showed this in the last video, so...
Oh, nothing. I just didn't realize how much time had passed.
I felt like I was getting lightheaded for a
happy for
moment.
her. Anyway, enough about that. Let's see what I packed into this box.
I can't skip this.
What are all these things? Oh, obviously I wouldn't... Now that I've said that out loud, criticism and self-doubt have always been a part of the artistic process. Without criticism, there can be no improvement.
That's a
I
sign.
admit that I may... my building block... Oh, I was super proud. Unfortunately, it was only a few days later that my mother took... She didn't scold me.
Keep getting slightly lightheaded. What the
Let's
fuck?
see, is there anything else left in this box? Huh. Oh, what? This is my mother when I was a child. Huh. If only I... Hey, it's not a matter of... Who knows? Maybe this time something will... I could tell what you were thinking. Don't worry, I tried all the easy guesses a long time ago. I've tried my name, my father, I've even tried stuff like that. I wouldn't try that route again. Yeah, you're right. Although I was hoping to find some words of wisdom from my mother, if I stop and think about it, her words may not be the advice that I need to hear right at this moment. Everyone's life journey is different.
True.
Traveler, you've visited many lands and met many people, so I'm sure you've run into situations where some advice wasn't exactly suitable for the situation at hand. I just got an idea though. If I want to rekindle the creative passion that I had before, instead of trying to unlock an old notebook, why don't I take a walk around the parts of town that had changed my life? What do you think?
Sounds good to me.
I'm glad you agree.
Oh.
Then let's start by taking a quick stroll around the academia.
That's where it changes. Alright then. This is where him and Alhaitham live. It's weird. The fact that I can just come in here. Where is that? I know where that is. Do I? Isn't that like around here somewhere? Or like over here? I feel like I've seen that somewhere. You know, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm horribly, horribly wrong. I don't know if that picture means anything or if it's just a random art piece that they just made together and it's not actually in the game. They just threw some fucking mountains with some water to create a picture to put on the wall. I don't know. A lot of images that you see in this game, though, are actually places that do exist in the game, so I don't think it would be that. It probably really is a real place. I'm thinking it's around the Chakran cave. I could be wrong. Oh. Sometimes I lose my mind. Go to the house of Dana and lose your mind. I'm gonna do that. I do like Kaveh a lot. I did try to get him though when his thing was airing, but I didn't get him, unfortunately. I'm sure if I would have tried a little bit more, I would have got him, because I always get the 4 stars right away. Any new 4-star character that they put out, I always get right away, like immediately within my first 10 pulls. Sometimes I don't even need 10, I need like 3 or 4, and they give it to me. Sometimes 5, and I get it right away. But I didn't really play all that much because I was too busy doing other stuff and taking breaks. That, I just ran out of time for the banner. That's what happened. It's alright, it's not the end of the world. Like a friend once told me, you don't need every character in the game. And it's true, they're right, I don't. But I do try to get characters I like because you know, you'll never see them again. Like, Kazuha aired twice, both times I didn't get him. Same thing with Venti and Zhongli, though. Venti and Zhongli's banners, I think, aired 3 times now. And I didn't get them either time.
Of all the places in the academia, I remember this one most. When my studies got busy, I used to pull all-nighters here trying to finish my blueprints.
The swirls on the wall behind me look like 2 eyes. In the middle, diamond in the bottom, or the mark in the bottom's like a nose, and it almost looks like a face. Anyway, what were you saying? You sound like you almost miss it.
Who doesn't miss their time at the academia? Life was a lot simpler then, and we all had far less troubles.
He kind of looks like a fucking bird to me the more I stare at him. And especially since he has 2 long strands on either side of his hair that are dark brown. He looks like a bird. Straight up.
I created many designs that I thought were beautiful in the House of Dana. I drew whatever came to mind, since I didn't have to care about budget constraints or turning them into reality.
Why did you like to draw in the House of Dana?
If I had to give a reason, it'd probably be because I like the ambiance here.
Yeah, it is pretty cool with the flower lanterns hanging from the ceiling everywhere. Like some fucking Final Fantasy battle about to happen where you jump from one to the other while attacking shit. Anyway.
The academia also had a rule that allowed scholars to annotate any physical books they came across. As a result, the books here are chock full of scholars' wisdom across many generations.
Oh. He's taller than me. If I had to guess if he was like a bird, I think he'd be more like a phoenix. The way his, like, cape kind of goes. It's very red and bird-like.
Oh, here, this is a great example. This book, History of Ancient Sumeru Architecture, contains some analysis that I did many years ago. Huh? Why is Al-Haytham's handwriting also in here? When did he ever read this book? I guess it's probably from when we worked on that research project together. Anyway, he probably never cared to tell you this, but the House of Dana is where Al-Haytham and I first met. I came here to do my homework, and saw him sitting by himself next to that row of bookshelves. A group of Haravatat scholars were chatting near him, but he looked as if he was too lazy to join them. There was a pretty stark difference between him and all the rest of them.
Oh?
It was my fault for feeling bad for him. I thought he must have gotten into some kind of trouble and went over to ask if he needed anything, not realizing that...
Not realizing that you were in fact the one in a whole heap of trouble?
Huh?
Al-Haytham? Why are you here?
That's what I'm saying. What the hell?
The House of Dana is a public space. Anyone can come here, no?
Yeah.
But shouldn't you be at the records room at this hour? You're not here to watch me make a fool of myself, are you?
You think I would derive amusement from watching you fall into depression over your life's various troubles? If that's the case, then I suppose I must have been entertaining myself for years. I came here to pick up a few files. If your voice hadn't managed to get through my soundproof earpieces, I probably wouldn't have noticed you.
All right. I admit I was probably overreacting just now.
Well, want to continue the story? I want to know what happened next. Well, want to continue the story?
Probably not when he's right here with us. As his senior, I shouldn't try to tarnish his reputation.
There was nothing embarrassing or shameful about it. When I was still a student at the academia, I once collaborated with Kaveh on a research project. A collaboration is usually beneficial for all parties, but due to issues with our personalities, we ended up going our separate ways before completing the project. We had a number of differences, and they remain unresolved even today. But there's no point going into that right now. The more important question is, why are you at the House of Dana?
Kaveh's feeling a little...
As a senior scholar, isn't it my responsibility to offer my friend a quick tour and explanation of the academia's architecture?
What you say, she's your friend?
I see. Then let me guess. Your next stop will be the pavilions around Roseanne Garden? Our famed architect sure loves showing off that corner to all his friends. Oh, and Kaveh, a lot of the books you annotated have been moved to the innermost section of that bookshelf over there. You'll have to dig them out yourself if you need to find them.
Huh? But why would you know that? Don't tell me you finally had an epiphany and realized that there's great virtue in respecting your elders' work.
Watch him say no, they were in the way of better talent.
Sure, if that will give you some self-confidence. Leave any words of thanks you may have to the ex-Grand Conservator. The last time he was here, he was complaining that he had received reports from current students. The main grievance being that the annotations are too long and difficult to read. As a result, the books you annotated have been moved to the back shelves.
What? But all of my annotations were extremely important. Instead of reporting me, they should have been thanking me for my service. The notes that I took, they couldn't have asked for a better analysis of those books. Okay, just you wait. I'm going to fix this right now. I'll dig all the books out and return them to the proper shelves.
Oh, we'll wait.
Waiting is about all we can do.
Anyway, you were about to say he's feeling a bit down?
Oh, he was put through the ringer recently by a particularly difficult client.
Put through the ringer. What an interesting phrase. I assume he used those exact words himself?
It doesn't seem far from the truth, though.
He probably did suffer quite a bit, that's true. He always spends a lot of time editing his proposals, with the goal of satisfying as many of the client's preferences as possible. But the satisfaction of one client will not translate to general satisfaction with his work. Many problems in life can only be solved by a fundamental change of attitude. As the leading genius of Kshatriyar, Kaveh should have both the right and the confidence to reject any unreasonable demands. There are plenty of architects in Sumeru who are inferior to him in skill, yet far more irascible in temperament. What's more, There are plenty of people who look up to such individuals as paragons of staying true to one's principles.
So the problem is with Kaveh?
Clearly, his predicament is inevitable, since he holds other people's feelings as more important than his own.
Well, I do that also.
Of course, each person is different, and we should respect the paths that they have chosen for themselves. Admonitions will serve no purpose. People tend to succumb to familiar pitfalls, and this is especially true for those who believe it's their duty to carry more burdens on their shoulders.
Looks like you were having an enjoyable chat while I was gone. Were you talking about me by any chance?
What do you think?
What else is there to talk about? Surely no one would be interested in talking about the files that you were browsing through earlier. Anyway, you should take a look at this. Look at this comment on page 82. Dear Kaveh, thank you so much for annotating this book in such detail. It was a great help to me. See that? Now that's how a student should treat their seniors.
And it looks like you're already in a much better mood now. It really doesn't take much to make you happy, huh?
Me? Happy? I'm mocking that retired blockhead for being so full of himself. He understands nothing about the true beauty of architecture. When I can find some time, I'll have a serious talk with him about making sure these books are put where they belong.
Why don't you just move all the books yourself? It's not like he hasn't cursed you out before. What was that nickname he gave you while you were in the academia? The Urchin of Kasharwar?
Wait, what?
Kaveh had a habit of scribbling and writing in all kinds of books.
Hey! You didn't need to bring that up. At least not when I'm still standing here. Oh, actually, I also found a really old sketch in one of the books over there. See? Doesn't it remind you of something?
I don't really get it. An arch bridge? What?
Huh? Don't tell me even you don't get it.
Don't ask me. This is the time you specifically put aside to brag about yourself. Feel free to hoard all the spotlight you want.
You? In that case, allow me to explain. Although this sketch is a little abstract, you can plainly see from the road plans that this was an original concept for the expansion of Port Ormos.
We can also plainly see that the designer was a huge fan of this project. It's the project he loves to talk about the most, second to the Palace of Alcazarzaray.
If I don't keep bringing up the neat projects that I've done, how would anyone know that I was the one who did them in the first place? There shouldn't be any complaints about Port Ormos. If I remember correctly, the construction process was very smooth. Everything was made ready ahead of time, and there were very few safety concerns.
There are indeed no records of any complaints about this project. A most impressive achievement.
See? What did I tell you?
He's trying to inflate his ego on purpose.
Come on, let's take a stroll through Port Ormos next. I'll tell you all about the designs I made for the place.
Are you going to come too, Alhaitham?
No need. It's almost time to clock out for the day, and I don't intend on bringing any unfinished work home.
Suit yourself. It's not like you know how to appreciate artistry anyway. Let's go, traveler. I'll take you to Port Ormos.
Oh god. Oh. It's been crossed out, unceremoniously crossed out by the reader. School days! So I read all of his books. Find the unnoted books in the House of Dana. The books left behind by Kaveh. You actually have to read those to get that achievement, so. Because you pay attention to where he takes you and where he goes, and you just do that. Man, this room is something. You know what this room reminds me of? I'll tell you what this room reminds me of. Hold on. This is what this room reminds me of. Jesus Christ. Fucking itch. Oh God. It's like a painful itch. It just hurts. Why? Oh my God. It's like one of those itches where like you itch it right and it still itches and then it just like hurts. Jesus. Elemental sigils can be thrown at windows to capture butterflies in the dark. Okay. What was that lantern? It just jiggled. What the fuck? Like when he walked under it, it moved. What was that?
Port Ormos.
God, that unloading be absolute crap. Did you design one of the buildings here? He probably designed the fucking bridge we're standing on.
No, I didn't design any one specific building. Most of my work here concerned structural renovation. Port Ormos had already existed since I was still a young child. It wasn't as large as it is now, though. It only came to its current size after a sizable expansion. I was part of that project. The Arch Bridge over there, for example. That was one of my designs.
Told you. How did you come up with the idea for it?
When I was first tasked with the project, I decided to reference the growth patterns of nearby trees to split Port Ormos into 2 levels. My goal was to improve the overall utilization of space. We ran into a lot of issues during construction, but thankfully, we were still able to achieve the original vision. Residents can now behold all the ships entering and leaving the harbor from the vantage point of the bridge, while visitors can recognize the site of Port Ormos from a long ways away. I was still young and new to the trade back then. I could hardly believe that an idea in my head could become reality and remain in the world for many years to come. The true cornerstone of the creative process. The point about the design that will be ultimately used to judge its true worth. It was the first time that it became crystal clear in my mind. Once built, a building will continue to stand. Countless people will see it, and countless more will step inside it. Its final worth, whether it's good or bad, will be assessed by the countless generations of people that interact with the building during their lives.
I'm sure the residents of Port Ormos really enjoy it. I think it's pretty cool.
You think so? I'm glad to hear that. But even with this project, I still had one small regret. My budget was tight, and I was unable to use the higher quality timber I had originally intended for the design. I knew that some concessions on aesthetics would be needed as soon as I agreed to a proposal that prioritized the practical functions of the project.
I could have said as needed as soon as I agreed, but it's because I agreed. Whatever.
Us creative types know better than anyone that most projects cannot be completed without a few regrets. Even the Palace of Alcazar's was not perfect.
But having no regrets would also mean you had no higher hopes for the future.
Yeah, you're right. I should learn to look toward future opportunities and believe that any regrets I have can be overcome in time. We've spent long enough here. There's still one last place I want to go, but it's a little far. Would you be interested in a quick trip to the desert?
I wouldn't mind.
Great. Most of my projects over the last few years have had something to do with the desert, partially because there's a special place there that I often visit. This is a rare opportunity, so why don't you come along and see it for yourself?
He actually says I rarely take anyone there. You should come along to see it for yourself.
If you ever feel down, maybe you'll be able to go there and feel better too.
Follow Kaveh into the desert. Yeah, about that. I don't really want to change the way I think of the desert. I don't want Kaveh to remind me of the desert, because the desert reminds me of Sino. It's reserved for Sino only. I don't need any other man in there. No, when I think of the desert, I do think of Sino. When I think of Egyptian anything, He's like practically a fucking Anubis. Come on. Oh, okay.
Who would have thought that so many primal constructs could have congregated here while I was gone? We won't be able to sit and talk peacefully with these guys around. Let's clear the area.
Huh? Yeah. Alright. Okay. Oh my god. She said.
Force my blade!
Feel like I'm losing my mind. Oh my god.
Squall of Fury!
How amusing.
Scatter!
From whence you came!
Sight clear!
Feel like I'm losing my mind. I didn't realize that he had weird blue window designs on his pants until just now. How am I barely noticing that now? Told you he was a fucking bird.
Where's my...
I'll hate them with it.
Not again.
Watch and learn!
Isn't this place great? I often come here to clear my mind when I'm dealing with a difficult situation.
Are you saying you built this pyramid?
You know what I mean.
Oh.
Everyone finds themselves in frustrating situations once in a while.
I feel like he answered me directly. It's weird. Okay.
Just take me as an example. My family life got shaken up quite a bit when I was young.
Oh my
I
god.
struggled in school, and I got into a huge pile of debt building the Palace of Alcazarzaray.
Oh my god. Wait, you built that? Really?
Although Al-Haytham thinks that it's because of my personality that I continue to live in the shadow of the past, I think it's also just a part of life. Plus, if I look back, I've honestly had my fair share of good luck as well.
Oh?
You could probably say I followed in the path of my mother. Like her, I've gained a name for myself as an architect, built something that's seen as my magnum opus, and found many projects that others have entrusted to me to finish.
Tumbleweed. You also haven't completely lost your passion for life?
Life is too boring when you live with no enthusiasm and passion. Only those who believe in the inherent meaning of it can capture the small nuances of everyday life and turn them into inspiration for beautiful designs. Of course, I will concede that loving something also means taking it to heart. So to an extent, caring is also a source of pain.
True.
If I didn't love my work, I wouldn't be so torn up about it all the time. But still, isn't this place beautiful? Despite the erosion from the winds and changing seasons, you can still perceive its past beauty and glory. With different landforms come different architectural styles. The desert's history has left it with few records regarding its buildings, so I often visit the desert to investigate things in person. The sight here has moved me ever since the first time I laid my eyes on it. I told myself that one day, I would also be able to create buildings that move others. My pain will one day fade into nothing, just as I reach the end of my life. But buildings are different. They are far more valuable than most materialistic things, and far more durable than human flesh. As long as there remain souls in the world who can decipher the meaning behind them, they will also have acknowledged me across the vast stream of time. If you were to ask me what art is, that would be my answer.
Now that's more like the Kaveh I know.
You think so? But I feel I've always been like this. Remember that question I brought up before? The one about whether I should see art as a divine gift of inspiration from the gods, or as a product of my own existential struggle.
Yeah?
I still haven't found an answer to that yet. But if art wasn't inherently paradoxical and enigmatic, then people probably wouldn't be drawn to it.
Maybe.
Those who pursue art will be unable to avoid the pain that it naturally brings. Will often be floating on cloud 9 one second and sinking in a mire the next. I'll try gathering my thoughts again once I've found a way to define art in the first place. In any case, thank you so much for listening to everything I had to say.
My pain will one day fade into nothing, just as I reach the end of my life, but feelings will endure. Cute. It'd be deep, man. It'd be deep. I love the music out here. Alright. Fuck. Chat about the future with Kaveh in the desert. Yeah, romanticism, alright. Alright, we still have 3 endings. So that's how that one ends. Okay, man, we have to go back to the very beginning again, don't we? Alright. Oh my god. I like how that was my reaction to that. It is 9:07 and I am losing my mind. Why did I turn my phone on just to turn it off? What the fuck?
The scenery here is wonderful. I've landed the perfect job.
So how am I gonna change this? How does this change? Okay. That guy's not there.
Taking this commission was truly the worst decision ever.
Are you alright?
Oh, hey. I wasn't expecting to run into you here. Actually, while we're on that, what are you doing here at the tavern? Don't listen to anyone who
I followed you here.
So you saw that, did you? Anyway, thanks for looking out for me. Stress is just an inescapable part of being a working adult. Boss, I'll have a glass of wine. Do you want something too? I'll put it on my tab.
wine and a glass of...
I'm gonna see how this changes, so I'm gonna skip it because we did this in the last video.
I know you're already keeping a secret from me.
No, I'm not.
Guy, though.
Her eyes. Her fucking eyes.
Another glass, please.
You got it, sir.
It really is perhaps getting used. I would spend a lot of time. I suppose, though, that all of this makes for a
Here's your drink.
Boss,
The meaning of art. Anyway, I don't know about art, but I...
what do you think, traveler?
I wonder what happens when I say this, because you're supposed to say this one, but
Yes, art shouldn't be self-indulgent entertainment.
if you say the bottom one, it goes up by 2 hearts instantly.
Let's say that I built a house for someone. If they don't like how it looks, then no matter how brilliant it may appear to me, they won't be happy with it. The problem is that it can be very difficult to get validated by others. I could compromise my personal standards to accommodate my clients, but often that just means creating a final product that I would struggle to look at.
I'll help you convince the client to come to your side.
Thanks for offering, but you've seen how he is. He's not going to listen to anything I say. He understands nothing about my design. And all the suggestions he made were as if he just wanted to mock me.
I don't think he was intentionally trying to be difficult. If you can convince even him to see your point of view. I don't think he was intentionally trying to be difficult.
Okay, it is possible that I was just jaded by my frustration. Well, given I'm already on my 6th draft, I can probably push myself to make a 7th. Let's go have another talk with him. I know where we'd be able to find the guy. There's no time to waste. The wine can wait until another time. I'll go take care of the bill.
Yeah, if you see that bottom one, it goes up by 2 hearts. Because I had already said that, that's why I changed it. Oh god, is it super? It is super far. Lag. Oh my god. Something like that. She trip? What was that?
Kaveh, what are you doing here?
Oh, you know, being a stalker.
I've changed my mind. I was overreacting earlier. Can we try discussing the project some more?
My apologies as well. Now that I think about it, some of my requests were indeed a bit unreasonable. If I choose you to create the design for my project, I should have a bit more faith in your vision.
Thank you for understanding. Mutual trust is the basis for good communication. Now that we've got that out of the way, I think we can have a more productive conversation. To be perfectly honest, your commission request has been the most peculiar one I've ever received. Even now, I still know nothing about the building's intended purpose. All I know is that you want to build something in the desert for public use. I am aware that overly specific requests will restrain the architect's artistic freedom. However, knowing nothing about the intended purpose of the building also means I have no idea if I'm on the right track. I've produced several draft proposals for you to choose from, and you've rejected every single one. If we don't get on the same page, it could be a decade before we can finally break ground on this project.
Yes, I've given this some thought already. I think we can go with the general direction of the latest proposal that you just showed me. It's just...
Just what?
Putting the building design aside, can we get some less expensive materials for the floor tiles? Yeah, I know someone in the business, and the red bricks he sells can go for pretty cheap. The timber here as well. We should be able to find some substitutes.
Please give me a moment. My head's starting to hurt again. Just please hold on for a second. So, let me get this straight. You want to reduce the cost of the project, right? But if we implement your suggestions, then I'm afraid we have to scrap the entire design. Architectural design cannot be neatly split into discrete parts. Any change to one part of the design will affect the quality of the whole thing. I decided to utilize high-end timber for this section because the weight-bearing structure requires the supporting materials to be durable and strong. Same with the tiles. Switch them out and the entire mural will have to be redesigned. More importantly, if we make such a change, both its practical functionality and aesthetic value will take a great hit. If all you need is a building with a roof that can keep people dry in the rain, you shouldn't have commissioned me. Many architects would be able to build you one of those while charging far less in commission fees.
Actually, Please tell me, are you absolutely sure that there's no room for any changes in this draft of the design?
I think the most important thing for me is to understand what you would actually like to get. If you could tell me more about your vision, I might be able to work with the design some more. You are the client, after all. You should have the final say on how the project turns out.
I want to build something unique. Something quiet and warm inside. A refuge that can block out the world outside. I want all who enter this building to be able to temporarily forget everything that's going on outside of the building and just focus on their task at hand.
That's a bit more information than last time, but it's still extremely vague. To put it another way, every rich person who wants to build a mansion for themselves would request something like this. We've gone through many proposals, and this draft is already the cheapest one. Cutting costs by substituting building materials will not only detract from the overall effect of the building, it also won't save you much more in the grand scheme of things.
Thank you for giving it so much thought. Please give me some more time to mull over the budget. I'll get back to you once I've figured out a solution. I still have a few business meetings that I must attend, so I'm afraid I'll have to leave for now. You can just leave the proposal as is. I'll get in touch once I've given it some more thought.
He walks away. Why do I feel like he's hiding something?
I also have a similar feeling.
Should we follow him and see if anything unusual comes up?
Is that really okay? I mean, what he does now is none of our business. He does seem really suspicious, though. He dresses like a rich person, but when you talk to him, he hardly sounds the part.
He sounds super frugal, too.
That's actually pretty common. Not all rich people are spendthrifts. Many are just, as if not more, stingy than him. The more mora some people have, the more they love interfering with people's lives. Like constantly reminding you to pay back your debts, or hinting every other day that it's time for you to pay rent. Actually, now that I think about it, I'm not even sure this person really wants to work on this project with me. Putting his vague requests aside, he's still finding excuses to procrastinate even when we've decided on a plan. Who knows how long construction will take if he keeps delaying things like this? We should find him again and get some clearer answers. The sooner we can break ground on this, the better.
Are we really going to follow him? God, that lag, it stopped her for a minute. What? Watch it be something horribly shady.
Huh? Where did he go? I could have sworn he went this way. let's keep looking.
Search the area of Kaveh, but you find no trace of a Badawi.
Hey, look! Isn't that Badawi? It sure looks like him, but he's dressed completely different now. What is he up to?
He's secretly a mercenary freak.
Didn't I tell you before? I'm not looking for more workers.
Didn't I tell you before to go fuck yourself?
Plus, aren't you a bit old for physical labor? If something happens to you, I won't be able to pay for it.
I kind of look like that girl from the Altavia series. What's her name again? Sophie?
Oh, you won't have to worry about that. I grew up as an Eremite mercenary and worked in the desert my entire life. My body's still in great shape.
The fuck?
I don't have many talents, but I still have my muscle. If you need someone to unload goods or drive away sumpter beasts, I'm your man.
You used to be an Eremite mercenary?
She has that look on her face like, oh, what the fuck? Why are you in front of me?
I know there are a lot of bad apples in our ranks, but most are just trying to make a living. We're not that greedy by nature, and we'll do our best when given a job.
Why is that lantern in the background levitating against a green-black drop? What the fuck is happening?
Let me think. I'm sorry, but I still can't take you in. I don't have any open positions right now, and don't have the Mora for anything more. How about this? Why don't you try your luck somewhere else?
Okay.
He used to be a member of the Eremites? Huh. From the way he was dressed, I would have thought he was a merchant from the rainforest. Let's ask him about it.
Don't, Kaveh. Oh my fucking god. Hello?
We meet again.
Huh? Why are you guys here?
Well, this is a free city, isn't it?
That's what we wanted to ask you. Who are you? Why did you dress up like a merchant to talk to me about our project? There's no need for us to continue this project if you still want to keep hiding things from us. I don't work with individuals I can't trust.
Believe me, I didn't have any bad intentions. It's just... All right, there's no point hiding anything anymore. The building I'm trying to commission you for is not really a personal residence for me, but rather a library for children living in the desert.
A library? Funded entirely by yourself? Shouldn't this be the responsibility of the academia? I've heard that the academia will be looking to prioritize the desert with the allocation of educational resources and materials. It sent over a large shipment of regular goods just last month.
You're right. And I was aware of these happenings as well. I just figured what I want to do is a separate effort from what's already being done by the academia. The desert is too vast. Even if the academia spends a lot of effort trying to disseminate knowledge in those parts, it might still take decades, if not centuries, to reduce the educational gap that already exists between the two regions. And what's more, I don't know if the academia would ever reverse its stance in the future. All I know is that as a desert dweller, we should not wait passively for good things to happen to us. If we only did that, we'd never be able to stand up and hold our heads high. I don't have much longer left on this world, so I just want to use whatever time I have to contribute something to my homeland.
Why didn't you just tell us that from the start?
I didn't want you to know that I came from the desert. I've lived in the desert my entire life, and there wasn't anyone here that I could trust. I figured I needed as much safety as I could get.
To the point that you even disguised your identity? That's certainly taking playing it safe to the next level. Hold on. Don't tell me you've also been scammed before.
When I first came to Sumeru City, I brought a lot of Mora, hoping to find an architect that I could work with. Someone agreed to take on the project, and even took a sum of Mora from me, but then disappeared without a trace. After that, I heard that there are a lot of untrustworthy people in this business. Some would run as soon as they've been paid, while others would deliberately use expensive materials and take a cut of the construction funding. I spent a while collecting information in the city, and eventually learned that you're the most famous architect in all of Sumeru. I figured